the NCAA first round press conference. Gettysburg here, winners over Stevens in the first round game. Coach, we'll start with the opening statements for you.
Yeah, boy, it's fun to be playing basketball this time of year. I know sometimes for people in the stands watching me coach, it doesn't look like I'm having a lot of fun, but I really am. This is just awesome to be with this team and just to continue this journey. And, obviously you just got to take one game at a time at this time of the year, right? You can't get ahead of yourself. And so we did a great job being focused on Stevens tonight and trying to make sure that we executed the game plan well. We defended really well. And we did enough offensively to give ourselves an opportunity to win, and had really good deep contributions today on our bench, which was great to see that. So, again, that's the way we've been all year. We've been a team effort all year long, and so it's nice to see that happen at this time of year.
Questions?
What's it like having such a deep bench like that? The first half, 27 points, 14. Your bench outscored the starters in the first half. What kind of confidence, and also to Reagan and Elena, what's it like knowing you got the next players, the next group of players on the floor? Reagan, you are one of them. You have so much confidence.
Yeah. Do you want me to start that?
Sure.
All right. I think that's the luxury. For sure. And it's something that we know because we see it every day in practice. So it doesn't surprise any of us who's on the team to see what these players do when they come off the bench because, they know they want to be part of a special program and they know that they may not start, but they know they're going to contribute. And that sacrifice and those choices that those players make, that we have some really talented players in this team and some that didn't even get a chance to play much today that are really good players. And so we see it every day in practice. So it doesn't surprise any of us that are in the room on the team.
I think for me, just coming from the perspective of someone in that first team, I think it just honestly takes a lot of pressure off. It's good to have that trust amongst each other that I may be having an off game, someone else in the starting lineup might be having an off game, but that doesn't mean that we're having an off game as a team. We can always pick it up. We can sub in, sub out, get some fresh legs in. I think it's just kind of adds more to our team aspect knowing that it's not going to fall when we sub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely say moving up to this level last year as a freshman, you really have to figure out what your role is and how you can contribute, and every single person on our team knows their role and knows how to contribute. Whether you're on the bench or on the court, everyone's dedicated to this game, everyone's dedicated to this team. We see everyone in practice every day going after it, and it's something really special. Again, it's a privilege to be here, and it takes every single one of us, so it's great to see tonight.
For sure.
So they got up 8-2 to start the game, and you guys weren't hitting any shots. I know you weren't worried because it was so early in the game, but and then you got the lead at the half. So what did you feel like coming out the second half? Did you feel like we got this? 24 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, it always kind of sucks coming out not hitting, but home court, we knew we were going to hit eventually. I think our focus was mainly on defense, especially just straight from the beginning. We knew the scout, we knew who does what, so just kind of managing that and letting the offense come to us was kind of our mindset there.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like, we really rely on our defense to give us energy. And when shots aren't falling, that goes back to the same thing. We're so deep. We're going to figure it out offensively. We just have to play free and play hard on defense. We knew it would come. Obviously, we had to stay locked in, but I wasn't worried. I knew we just had to get in a groove and be fine. So.
People that have seen us play a few times this year have seen that before. I think it's probably a trend that we would rather not have, but we're not going to panic. This group's not going to panic. They're going to continue to battle. They're going to continue to focus on their keys that help them be successful, and that poise and confidence in each other is what carries us through for sure.
The defense was exceptionally tough as usual. Does it give you any sense of satisfaction when you frustrate the other team as you did them? That offensive foul that she shoved her to the court, are you inside just going,
it always feels good to get in their heads a little bit, especially with just playing straight up defense. So yeah, honestly, as much as I didn't like crashing to the ground, that was a fun moment for me.
She did present a few challenges though.
Oh, she played really well.
Point,
she was 7-7 in the first half. Yeah, again, she did a great job tonight, so you can't take anything away from Stevens or her for that matter. They were going to come in and battle, and we knew that, and wasn't. That's what happens. That's the game of basketball. And once somebody gets going a little bit, these are all college basketball players. They all are good players. They're all the best players in high school on their team. So anybody who's played basketball enough knows that when you get it going, the basket seems like a huge thing, and anything you throw up's going in. So yeah, we just tried to manage that the best we could. going into the second half. And I thought our players did a better job on her in the second half and really tried to make sure that she wasn't going to have the same second half as she did the first half.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And ultimately, you had to be really pleased with how your team adjusted and defense travels, and you did a good job the second half and widened the gap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What'd you think of the balance scoring wise, and obviously the players too? It just seems like everybody wants to get involved in the scoring and has the ability to as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real strength. I mean, obviously, historically, Elena's gotten a lot of publicity, and she deserves everything she's gotten, and she's a phenomenal player. But I think people at their own peril, if they focus just on her, other people are gonna pick it up and do their part. And that's kind of been our theme all year long anyway. And so we'll relish that. I think people figured that out early on, that they couldn't just try to take Elena away or other players, and that other players were going to do their part. So yeah, it's something that we're thankful for sure. But again, like going back to what I said, it's something we see in practice every day. I mean, we have really competitive practices, people knocking down shots, people attacking the basket, people rebounding on each other. My biggest concern, certainly this time of year, is that we don't hurt each other in practice, because they're really competitive.
Elena and Reagan, what's the advantage of being at home this weekend? You sleep in your own bed tonight?
It's awesome, honestly, especially compared to last year being on the road. It definitely proves a bigger challenge not being where you're used to in your normal environment. It's great to have the fans here and everything. Ultimately, it comes down to like us. It's all about us. It's not about the other team. It's not about where we are, but it's obviously nice to be at home.
Yeah, I think just having that same home game routine, going to Bullet, getting a pregame meal that I have gotten in the past, and just kind of having the same routine I usually have for home games helps kind of ease the nerves of a big game playing in the NCAA tournament. So yeah. Honestly,
I think the other thing that people overlook is these guys are student athletes, and there's so many times we're on the road on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, far away and traveling, and academically it really puts a strain on these guys. And so for them to be able to keep some semblance of a regular academic routine is huge too, because you could tell that it was a normal routine that they were used to. It wasn't something that they're having to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning writing papers or things like that, or studying or trying to figure out how they're going to do an exam right before spring break, those kind of things. So I think that aspect of it is huge too, because that's a really important piece for all these guys, is their academic piece. So to be able to balance that at home is a really advantage.
Reagan, it was a really efficient 15 minutes for you. I know you probably weren't thinking about it in the moment, but 2 rebounds shy of a double-double. You added 3 steals. You had a block shot in there. With what moment, when did you know that it was going to kind of, that everything was going to come to you so slowly tonight?
I mean, it felt great. I'm not going to lie, it did. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter, because I knew whether I did something, whether someone else did something, as long as we were working together, it was all going to work out. Obviously, I think the team as a whole did a really good job finishing today and just finding each other. Getting a high number of assists, always important. AB distributes well. Kim distributed really well today. And overall, I think when someone gets in rhythm and people recognize that, it's great. And I think to the point earlier, no one on our team's selfish and everyone's capable. So being ready to just work together and adapt is very important for our team.
Coach, we talked about the balance up and down the score sheet. And as you look at your opponent, which I know you really probably haven't looked too much, although you're over there watching.
Yeah.
They had a similar type night, 40, couple bench points.
Yeah.
Just quick look ahead to tomorrow night.
You're right that it's hard to look ahead when you haven't played the game yet, that you're trying to get to be able to play ahead. But no, they're a really balanced team. They go really deep in the bench. It seems like they have just reinforcements coming off the bench too. And so, our attention turns to them now. And but they're going to be a formidable opponent tomorrow. We know it. We got to be ready to go. And 2 teams that have depth and are experienced winning games. So it's going to be a battle. So I'm looking forward to it. I know we are too.
Luke was saying, was it first time both men's and women's are in, and first time both win? So, what does that speak to the state of Gettysburg basketball at the moment?
Well, Coach Dunn, our men's basketball coach, said we must be a basketball school now. So I'll let him quote that. But no, seriously, it's awesome. Obviously, to see our men's team continue to progress and get better every year, and that program continue to rise like they have, it's inspiring to us. It's motivating to us, because we feed off that energy. We see these guys have success, and even though we've been here, and that's exciting too, but it's pretty cool to share basically a wall together between me and BJ, but also our players root for each other. Both teams are supporting each other. Obviously, it'd be cool if we were both here, but that doesn't happen at this time of year. But yeah, no, I think the supportive nature of both men's and women's basketball, it's a lot of fun to see them be successful, knowing that going into our game.
All right, Coach Reagan, thanks. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
Congrats.
Thank you.